Yes. Hi, Mason Rowley, WVCW music director, here once again with an interview with the illustrious Jeff Rosenstock, coming here on tour at the Broadberry.
Thank you for that adjective. Appreciate it.
I guess first off, what have you been listening to on tour so far, since you don't have to introduce yourself?
What have I been listening to on tour so far? What have I listened to? I listened to the new Rat Boys record. It's pretty great. I've been listening to the new No Name record a lot. It was just phenomenal. I really like Chris Farron's new record. I really like the new Diners record. They're both buddies, but I listen to them a lot. And I've been listening to the Craig of the Creek movie score and taking notes as it gets mixed remotely. But that isn't really recreational listening. That's more just crazy detail, like stuff.
I was going to ask you some questions about Craig of the Creek, but I didn't know how to weave it in properly.
I'm here for you. I'm here to weave.
I guess to go in a completely opposite direction. First off,
sorry to mess up your whole thing.
No,
you had
cool.
an arc.
I guess first off, to get started, you've always been known as a very outspoken artist in both your lyrics tackling sort of like capitalistic corruption of art, and most recently you were talking about merch cuts and sort of how they affect a touring artist. Would you like to talk more about that for people at home that didn't get a chance to read about your thoughts on that?
Sure. I mean, basically what we're like seeing happen as we've been in the band for a long time, and merch cuts have always been a thing. For those who don't know, merch cuts are when a venue will just take a percentage of a band's merch for the privilege of playing there. You don't get any extra services or anything. They just take your money. They didn't have anything to do with making the merch. They just take your money. It's not great, but like it's something that you know before you book. It just sucks. And as time, especially like over the past few years, as like I don't like you just see it happening more and more and being at more venues, and especially as AEG and Live Nation are buying more like mid-size rooms, like kind of rooms that we would play. You just see like we're watching just like more and more merch cuts happen, but percentages getting higher, and it's a kind of thing that like bands don't really speak about too much because one, nobody wants to whine about anything, and also two, it's just like you get nervous that like venues aren't gonna book you anymore, so you're just like, okay, I'm gonna just like I'll pay this thing. It'll be fine. I want to be able to play here again. But ultimately, like you're just getting robbed, and it's kind of like I was explaining it when I was talking about it the other day on the internet. Just like when you're in a creative, it seems just like more and more when you're in a creative field, the powers that be at the top who take like a lot of the money from the art that is created by others. People are just like, yeah, you're lucky to be here. This is your dream gig. We get it. So we're going to like screw you over at any chance we get. And that just doesn't seem fair. It's like, I don't know, give me a cut of the bar then. Like, you wouldn't give me a cut of the bar. Just like, you shouldn't be taking a cut of merch from me. Like, we're all here to like have a nice night together. We all like each other. Don't rob me. I don't know. So anyway, that's merch cuts. Kind of. I don't know.
So, as a person that had no idea that merch cuts were really a thing, because I'm not a musician, it's never really come into my field of view, is there another issue regarding sort of touring independent artists, like that is an obstacle towards them that you'd like to bring up as like a taking it to the man type of thing?
Oh, I mean, I don't know about I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things. Honestly, mostly like the things that we are concerned most about is that it affects like fans. It affects people coming to shows. It makes our merch more expensive to do that. In the same vein, you have like service charges, which again, these like big companies that are buying more and more of these venues implement these like huge service charges, like through Ticketmaster or through Live Nation or through like Access or whatever the hell you're buying your tickets through. So like a show like ours where like it's $25, I think, which already for us is like, okay, that's like what we would like people to pay. Then there's sometimes like a $13 or $15 service charge on it. It's like, I don't know where that money goes. It goes to somebody who already has too much money. It goes and it gets taken away for people who just like want to go see music, And I feel like it's going to make it so that less people are going to shows, at least like this. Like, luckily, there's always DIY shows. There's always like house shows and stuff like that. And there's, independent people doing stuff in art spaces and cool things like that. But as especially like the thing we're experiencing is just like as we're growing and we are playing bigger places simply because it just makes sense. We have to. We want everybody to be able to go. You got to deal with a lot of this stuff a lot of the time. Not here tonight, though. No merch cut tonight. So shout out Broadberry. Hell yeah.
Broadberry.
Shout out Richmond.
Shout out.
Yeah.
I guess sort of to go into a different direction, in regards to your showmanship on stage, you've always been sort of regarded, or at least whenever you look you up, the prevailing opinion is like one of the great presenters, one of the great like frontmen in rock music, which might be a label you might reject or agree with. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, we're all just having fun up there. I'm trying to have a good time. I'm trying to do a good job. I know what I know when I see bands that I'm like, this kicks ass, and I know when or anybody, any kind of performer, not just bands, like whatever. And I know when I see people who are like phoning it in. I see people who it seems boring and like you don't remain engaged or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. It's just like I'm not. I don't know. I'm not trying to do a thing. The word like showmanship is always a little whatever with me, because I'm not trying to be like, here I am, everybody, look at this thing. We playing this whole like thing, song and dance out. Like, it's not really like that. We're just having a good time. We're trying to make sure everybody's having a good time. You know?
Is there a show recently that you've seen? I don't know how many opportunities you get to see shows as a touring musician.
Yeah.
Has there been a show recently that's blown you away with the amount of like enthusiasm they showed on stage?
Yeah, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard played at the Hollywood Bowl for 3 hours. And we went thinking, we were like, okay, like they have like 800 records. I'm familiar with like 4 of them. So I was like, all right, this will be fun. It'll be cool. And they were just like so good the entire time. And it was just like everyone in the crowd was just like, I don't know. It was just it just felt like a lot of, I'm doing something with my hands that you can't see on the radio. But like a lot of just like, I don't know, not like push and pull. It just felt like we were all in it together. And I like those kinds of shows. That's what I want our shows to feel like. You know, everybody just feels less separation, like band and audience. It's just like we're all having one nice, good night together. It was cool that they were able to do that for 3 hours. It was cool how much just like thrash metal they played in this like very nice, elegant, amphitheater. It was sick. It was cool.
To sort of pivot off of your statement about like the separation or sort of lack thereof between like the band and the audience.
Yeah.
To talk a little bit about your album HELLMODE that just recently came out. You've always been known as, or at least I've always picked up from your music, you're a writer who loves that you never hide what you're feeling. You always are a very hard on your sleeve type of artist. And I think HELLMODE, at least from my listening to it, comes across like you're in a much not better place, but like it's a much better mindset about everything. You're seeming, like you said, there's a song called HELLMODE. You're in a state of like healing. When was that like an active decision you think going into it? Was it like this is going to be a more healing record, or was it just sort of reflective of your mindset? Did you like think about it going in?
I think maybe it's a little bit of the first thing. I think it's because it's, HELLMODE in particular, like I was feeling like the vulnerable parts of the record and the bleak parts of the record were like really, really bleak. And I didn't want to, I never want to just put out like 45 minutes of just like total destruction, total sadness. I don't know. I don't want to make sad people sadder necessarily. I want to be truthful to how I feel and stuff. So with that all in there, I think like as the album was taking shape and stuff, and also like keeping in mind that I try and do something different, try and challenge myself to do stuff that I don't think I'm good at every time we make a record. And one of those things I think is like writing anything positive about anything. So I was just trying to because also I don't know, I think that the lyrics I'm writing generally are like they're cathartic for me to write them. And when I'm like feeling good about things, I'm not like trying to be like, all right, I got to get this off my chest. I'm like, no, I just want to like be in it and feel good for a second. So I was just trying to like, you know, in those moments when I noticed it and when I was thinking things, to just try and chase the ideas and chase the words a little bit more, just so I could, I don't know, try and balance it out a little bit. Because like, I don't know, there's some Bleak stuff on this, all over this record, and I you know, just want to try and have a little bit of balance to it.
When it comes to performing some of the bleaker songs on the record, is there a level of like is it like a, not like a struggle to like for that to happen, but is it like a difficult process to go, we have to sing this song and I kind of am tearing my heart out on these lyrics, I'm kind of like struggling through them?
I don't know, not really. It feels good to sing. It feels good to get it off your chest. It feels good to talk about it, you know? I think that's why I write it. I don't feel bad when I'm writing it. I'm like, all right, I'm getting it out of my head. And I think like in a situation like this, you know, and I don't know, saying other people are singing is like, oh, whatever, you know, but like, it's nice to see. It's and it feels good to sing it. It feels good every night to sing the line, burn a police car really, really loudly. I am happy to, that's like, you know, the context of why I want to burn that police car is not good, but it feels good to sing it with some other people who also want to burn a police car. You know what I mean? And then also there's just like, I don't know, you disassociate when you're playing. It's not like I sing every word. I'm thinking about every word as it's happening, you know? I'm mostly just like, is my hand on the right fret? Did I mess up? But, you know, some of the darker lines sometimes are actually like, they feel good to sing because you're with people who feel the same and you don't feel as alone, you know?
Yeah, that's...
Sorry I said burn a police car on the radio. Is that...
No, totally.
I know no swearing, but...
We're college radio. We love burning police cars. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Radio. We love burning police cars. Put it on your sticker.
We should make a sticker that says that. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thank you for talking with us today,
Thanks
Jeff.
for talking to me.
It feels very weird to call you Jeff.
That's my
Mr.
name.
Mr. Rosenstock.
Don't call me that. I mean, call me whatever you want, but, you know, name's Jeff. I don't know.
If you're at home listening, listen to HELLMODE, listen to Jeff Rosenstock.
Yeah.
Go out to your local shows. This has been Mason from WVCW Radio and
Jeff Rosenstock from Baldwin.
Woo!